How's your story going, Mr. Blessing?
Go away. I'm just getting to the part where I was sheriff of Plum Creek.
Yes, sir. I heard some of them stories about you in Plum Creek when I was a boy. That was some pretty rough going, wasn't it? Trying to settle that mean old town?
Well, Sheriff Niemeyer, I doubt you could have handled it if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, you better get on back to your story, Mr. Blessing. Just a few days more till the hangman gets you. Remember?
Well, thank you for reminding me. If it weren't for them steel bars there, I'd give you a good licking to show you my gratitude. Miserable. I've had some joyous times in my life, as many as the next man, I reckon. But becoming sheriff of Plum Creek, Texas, wasn't one of them. The trouble with holding public office, I soon found out, was having to deal with the public.
I want to know what you're going to do about my turkeys.
What's wrong with your turkeys, ma'am?
Somebody's been sneaking in at night while they're roosting and plucking off their tail feathers. Look at that. Not a tail feather in sight. I tell you, Sheriff, something's got to be done. Half of my birds is walking around with naked behinds.
Naked behinds?
Naked behinds.
Well, by God, we can't have turkeys walking around with naked behinds. I'll start an investigation. Next! What's the trouble, boys? Somebody stealing your cattle, I hope?
We was told you had a whore in this town, and here now we done rode 20 miles and find out that ain't so.
Yeah, what the hell kind of town is this, Sheriff? Ain't got no whore.
Well, boys, I'm just as surprised at that as you are. I'll look into it right now.
What are we supposed to do in the meantime, Sheriff? I mean, shoot, we done rode 20 miles.
I'll be back eventually.
What are you going to do about my birds?
Yes, ma'am, I'll get my deputy on that right away.
Howdy.
Heidi, you ran in there?
You're too late. She don't sell it no more.
I heard. I've been getting complaints.
Morning, Ren.
Morning, Ned.
I was just about to go down to the cemetery and check on Judge Longley and Sticks, see how they're getting along with their grave digging. I thought maybe you might like to walk along with me.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Good.
Yeah, let me help you.
How you been feeling?
Still hurts a little when I laugh.
Well, I'm glad to hear you've been laughing some. That's good. I'm told you quit the business.
I did. I think I can get along all right just selling whiskey till I find a new girl. That please you?
It depends on what she looks like. Morning.
Hey, Sheriff.
You know what I mean.
Oh, Ren, I told you. Don't matter to me what you do for a living.
Did, not do. What'd you do to make your living before you came back here?
Stole things. Horses, cattle mostly, gold, if we could find it, down in Old Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, me and Crescencio both. I will say one thing in our favor, though. We were awful particular about who we robbed.
I bet you didn't steal from no poor people, did you?
No, we didn't. Not even once.
Yeah, you figured they didn't have nothing worth stealing, huh?
I got it?
Yes, sir. Just about.
Be good to get old Sheriff Larson all back together again.
Still think you ought to hold some kind of service or something.
Oh, I don't know what purpose it'd serve. I orated over the body for the better part of an hour when we buried it 4 years ago. Just be repeating myself.
Well, yes, sir, but that was just the body. I mean, he couldn't have heard much without his head on.
But heck, Sticks, he couldn't have heard nothing anyway. He was dead.
Well, maybe so, but I wouldn't want to irritate no dead man, because I hear that they'll come a-looking for you sometimes.
Well, if that's true, then why didn't Sheriff Larson ever go after Verlin Borges for cutting his head off? I'd think that'd be enough to get him riled. Wouldn't you, Ned?
Well, he wasn't nobody to mess with, not with the temper he had, that's for sure.
You know, Sheriff Larson thought an awful lot of you, Ned. Him and your daddy used to sit and talk about you for hours after you left.
Yeah, now they're both gone.
Well, your daddy will come back, Ned. Don't you give up hope.
No, I won't.
Yeah? There it is.
Mijo!
What's wrong?
I looked into my little gourd and I seen that man again. The one that got his face burned off in the fire.
Verlin Borgers?
Yes.
No, Crescencio, he's dead. We both saw him burn up at the Pettit farm.
Yes, I know, but every time I look into my gourd, I see him again. He's always there. I don't like it. The grandfathers are trying to tell us something.
What the hell?
Oh, my God.
Ned, you better come take a look at this.
Ave Maria Purísima.
Judge?
I don't know. Me and your daddy buried him ourselves. I tell you, Sheriff Larson was in that box and we covered it up.
Maybe somebody took him.
Well, of course somebody took him, Sticks. You don't think he just got up and walked off by himself now, do you?
Well, if he did, he took his head with him.
This is where I've been keeping that pickle jar, right there on my desk.
You make a habit of leaving this window open?
No. No, I don't.
There were two of them.
A man and a woman.
These are Big Emma's tracks. I know those shoes she wears.
And these are General Pelo Blanco's footprints. He's found you, mijo.
Who is this General Pelo Blanco?
Oh, just an old bandit from down Mexico way.
Who has sworn to kill you.
Why does he want to kill you?
Those horses and cattle I told you about a minute ago, and the gold and silver,
Yeah?
well, a bunch of it belonged to the general. He kind of took offense.
What they want with old dead Sheriff Larson.
Sheriff Larson was Ned's friend. They think Ned will come looking.
By God, they're right, too. Sticks, you look after town while we're gone.
Yes, sir.
You watch out for Big Emma. She's not going to take it as a favor that you took the saloon back. Crescencio.
Be careful.
What?
I can see how they snuck in and took Sheriff Larson's head off of your desk. But I don't see how they took his body. That ground was hard as a rock when we started to digging this morning.
Well, yeah, that's true, it was.
There's something peculiar going on here. And I don't like it.
Yeah, put him down there. He looks good there, don't he?
It's Ned Blessing's head I want.
You know, I think Verlin would have liked you.
Erlen, he's the one that did this, no?
Yeah. Sheriff Larson tried to run him out of town, so Verlin cut his head off and put it in a pickle jar down at my saloon as a warning, so nobody would mess with Verlin. And nobody did neither, until that damn Ned Blessing come along. Now Verlin is burnt up in the fire, and that damn Wren got my saloon.
Well, if it's a man you need,
What?
come here to me.
Nine.
I said come here to me, woman!
You don't tell me what to do.
Damn.
They didn't go to much trouble to hide their tracks, did they?
I told you, mijo. It's a trap to catch you.
I know that.
Well, if you know that, what are we doing riding into it? That don't make no sense to me.
Well, maybe their trap to catch me might turn out to be my trap to catch them.
Oh, you got a plan then, mijo?
No.
You see something? No. But I don't hear nothing neither. Not even the birds.
Yeah, you're right, no birds.
They must be close.
Right again.
Run, mijo!
Ain't nothing more exciting than getting shot at and missed, is there?
They didn't miss me.
What? Presencio. I don't think it got any of your vitals. I gotta get you out of here. Go on.
Hello, Heba.
Hey.
Roby. Something wrong, Roby?
I've been saving my money. There's $2 there. That's enough, ain't it?
Oh, you mean you wanna...
I think I'm old enough
Well,
now.
I'm sure you are, Roby, but...
I'd like my first time to be with you, Ram.
Oh, I appreciate that, Roby, I do. But, you see, I quit doing it. Oh, professionally, I mean.
Ain't that a frosty bit of news?
Why don't you come on back? Sit down here a minute with me, Roby. Listen, I'm gonna go to Austin in a few days and find another girl.
Austin?
Well, yeah, it being the state capital, it ought to be full of whores. You know, with all the politicians and lawyers. And it won't be but a few days.
Well, I got my heart set on you, Ram. I ain't interested in some other whore.
Well, Roby, it's all pretty much the same. Unless there's love connected to it.
Well, there is.
There's what?
Love connected to it.
No, Roby, you don't mean that.
Yes, I do. I do mean it.
Roby, listen to me. You know, if I was still in the business, I'd have been glad to do with you. You know, I might even have done it for free, it being your first time and all.
It's that Ned Blessing, ain't it?
Roby.
He's the cause of all this.
No, I quit the business on my own. He didn't ask me to do nothing.
Yeah, but you're in love with him. Ain't you?
Yes, I am. I won't lie to you. I had never been in love like this before. Except maybe one time way back there before I started whoring.
my one against my own papa for you.
Your papa was the meanest man who ever lived, Roby, and you know it.
I wish Ned Blessing had burned up in that barn with him.
Roby, don't say nothing like that.
And I'm starting to wish you had to.
Roby.
No luck, huh? Come on, you Bill.
There's the general's horse right there.
I bet they've been hiding in that mine there. Maybe that's where they got Sheriff Larson's cabeza.
I don't see anybody coming. Maybe I got time to slip in there and have a look. You gonna be all right here by yourself?
Yeah.
Here, you might need this.
You know I won't shoot nobody, mijo. All the bad things they've done will come back on them without any help from me.
That is the way of the world. Yeah, I know. You and your damn philosophy, it's gonna get you killed yet.
There he is.
Yeah, I see him.
Oh, wait. We got to get them both. Ned Blessing and that old Mexican.
Now what we do?
We got to get that old Mexican in there with him.
Yeah? Well, how are we going to do that, Herr Fuchs?
I think I know a way.
What way you know?
Howdy.
Top of the morning to you, one horse.
We was wondering, was you sitting out here last night?
I sit out here every night.
You didn't see nothing curious now, did you?
Whiskey drinkers like you?
What we mean is, you didn't see nobody carting Sheriff Larson's body out of the cemetery or something like that, did you?
No, that's not what I saw last night.
But you saw something, huh?
Yeah? I saw something.
What'd you see?
I saw a man crossing the street. Across the street over there. Went behind the building over there. And I didn't see him anymore.
Heck, one horse people cross the street all the time. What was so curious about this fella?
He didn't have no hat on.
Well, maybe he left it at home. Did you ever think about that?
Wouldn't matter.
Why wouldn't it matter?
Because this man I saw, he didn't have no head to put it on.
I'm hurt. Oh, God, help me. I'm hurt. Oh, God, I'm hurt. Oh, God.
Are you okay?
I killed him.
What? Who did you kill?
That general.
General Pelo Blanco? You killed him?
He tried to have his way with me, and I killed him.
Mijo! Mijo! Mijo!
What are you doing in here? Go back.
General Pelo Blanco, he's dead. Big Emma, she killed him.
General Pelo Blanco's dead,
See, mijo, he's dead.
and Big Emma killed him.
Sí, mijo. She killed him.
She tell you that?
Sí, mijo. She told me.
But you didn't actually see the general's dead body, did you?
No, mijo.
They're in there. We got them both.
Yeah, and I will tell you something else, too. They ain't got no way to get out.
Blessing is dead.
Yeah.
I said I would kill him, and I did.
Yeah?
I said I would kill him, and I did. I said I would kill him, and I did. How's your mouth?
My mouth?
Ned and Crescencio still ain't back?
No, ma'am, and we figured we better go looking for them. Which way, Judge?
Which way? You mean you don't know? Heck, Sticks, you're the deputy.
I believe they rode off yonder, that-a-way.
Sticks.
Oh, yes, ma'am. That-a-way, Judge.
Well, our luck ain't all bad. Got any matches?
Sí, mijo. It's too big, mijo.
Let's see if there's another way out.
You see any tracks, Judge?
No, I'm afraid we lost him.
No, nothing this way.
Sheriff Larson don't look too happy to me.
We ain't gonna look too happy neither when the air runs out in here. We're trapped.
What are we gonna do now? Judge, you all right?
You see what I see?
I don't know. What do you see?
There's a man standing over there behind that tree, watching us.
Judge, I believe you're gonna have to stop nipping on that bottle. You're starting to see figments. Dang. That weren't no figment.
I think he wants us to follow.
say the grandfather's nowhere. Maybe they ain't home.
Or maybe, just maybe they don't want to give you the bad news that we ain't gonna get out of this one. What is it?
I seen that man again. The one that got his face burned off in the fire. He's coming to kill you, Mijo.
That'd be good, because he's gonna have to move that boulder to do it. Let me tell you, that's gonna be quite a trick for a dead man.
Oh, no, Mijo. The dead can come back if they want to, bad enough.
Is that a fact?
Oh, yes, Mijo. It is a fact. There is only a tiny thin curtain between the world of the living and the world of the dead. If a dead man's love or his hate is strong enough, he can rip a hole through that curtain and come back to finish something he couldn't finish when he was alive.
We're gonna be walking through that little curtain ourselves here in a minute if we don't get some help. Of course, we're gonna be going the other way. Come on and have a drink with me, Brenda.
Not now, Leopold.
It's been a while.
Stop it.
Guten Abend, boys. Big Emma's back.
Tarnation got into her.
How you doing? I'll try to come back through that little curtain I was telling you about and get you out of this ugly hole. Okay? You just hang on. And you just hang on. You ain't going nowhere. You know something, Mijo? Maybe I should have married some old woman. So there would be somebody to put flowers on my grave. Hey, keep talking. Keep talking. What? You said you never married. I never married? That's right, you said you never married. Why didn't you ever marry? Tell me, I'd like to know. Why not? Hey, come on now. You gotta keep talking. You go to sleep, you ain't ever gonna wake up. Why didn't you ever get married? I never married. Because I thought, why let one woman make me miserable when so many could make me happy? Yeah, I bet they did too, didn't they? I was like a rabbit, you know? All them women's. All them women's. Hey, Crescencio. Crescencio.
Crescencio. Breathe. Breathe. Breathe, damn you. Breathe.
Ned?
Breathe. Don't you leave me. Breathe.
Yes, sir. Come on, breathe.
Please.
There you go. Take a big old breath. Big, deep breath.
Here, try a drink of this. Here you go.
You boys showed up just in time. Good thing you moved that boulder when you did. We'd have been goners for sure.
Ned, we just got here. We didn't move no boulder.
Sticks, you take Crescencio with you, and we'll go catch our horses.
Yes, sir.
You all right there, Crescencio?
Sir.
One horse.
Hide it. There's big trouble back in town.
Big Emma Palo Blanco.
They shot up the saloon.
How about the Wren?
I don't know.
Take him for me, would you? Help! Help!
Verlin. It's not what you think it was. I swear to God. No, Verlin, I did it all for you.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah, for you. I had to have his help to kill Blessing.
Blessing? You killed Ned Blessing?
Yeah, we killed him. He's dead in that old Mexican, too. I swear it. That man in that bed don't mean one damn thing to me. I just needed him to avenge you. My poor Verlin. I thought you was dead in that fire.
I ran out the back just before that barn caved in.
Yeah, thank God for that. You're the only one I ever loved. Just think, Verlin. With Ned Blessing dead, we got the whole town back to ourselves. Just you and me, Verlin. Just like it always was.
Blessing.
What? No, that's not possible. No, please. No. No. Verlin, no! Please!
Ned, I thought you were dead.
I was worried for you, too. Where are they?
Big Emma's room.
Stay here.
Remember me, Ned Blessing. Plum Borgers.
Ned.
Mijo.
Ned. Ned. Ned.
Mijo. Mijo. Where's Verlin?
Verlin Borgers. He's dead.
No, he ain't. Your grandfather's right. He tried to kill me.
Oh, God, look.
Step on out here, Mr. Borgers. You heard me.
God, Ned. What did you do to him?
You can't see nothing?
Nope, not a thing.
Can he hear?
Well, not that I can tell.
can't feel nothing either.
Papa? Papa? You in there, Papa?
Well, he ain't no good to us like that. We don't want him.
Roby, he's your father.
He's yours, Sheriff Blessing. You take care of him. Come on, you Bill.
I come see you sometime, Papa.
Let's come over Roby. I never seen nobody turn so hard.
Sheriff? I will take care of him if you let me out. I will feed him and clean him and everything. You won't have to do nothing. I will do it all.
I don't know that I can trust you, Emma.
Yeah, you can trust me. I love him.
Mr. Blessing! Mr. Blessing! Oh, Mr. Blessing!
Dad, you ain't gonna believe this. I mean, you ain't gonna believe it.
I'm going to bring you back, Fallon. I'm going to bring you back from wherever you are. And when I do, we will kill Ned Blessing for what he done to us. I swear it, Fallon. I swear to Almighty God.
Now, don't this beat anything you ever saw in your life?
Sheriff Larson.
I found him in there this morning. Just like that. How'd you explain it, Ned?
I wouldn't even want to guess, Judge.
No, me neither.
What's that?
Piece of cloth.
Cloth.
Yeah, just a little piece of cloth. I believe come from some tiny, thin curtain somewhere.
Hey, Sheriff Larson! How do you like this sign, huh? I used to be the meanest man in town. Oh, it ain't so high and mighty now, is it? Not so high, man.
What are you doing to my ballin'? Get up here from him! Get up here from him, you bughead! Get up here! Come on, with you! What are you looking at? You tell them no more, Sheriff Blessing. You tell them to leave poor Vernon alone. You hear me? I want to start.
Yeah, what difference does it make what they do to him, Emma? McVerlin wouldn't know if they cut his toes off.
It ain't right. They're making fun of my Vernon when he can't do nothing about it.
Well, I'm sorry, Emma, but I can't seem to work up much sympathy for that old devil.
Krillin ain't nothing but a shell. Wonder where the rest of them is.
Home in hell, I reckon. Right where he belongs.
I hope he stays there, too.
Hey there, Chief. Why aren't you on the reservation?
Better watch out there, Albert. That devil might part your hair for you.
And yours too.
Sassy, ain't he?
Ain't you, though? What you got in the sack there, Chief? Scalps?
I guess it's some kind of Indian secret, huh?
You got a secret in there, do you, Chief? You know something, Alfred? I never much took to nobody ever tried to keep a secret from me.
I noticed that about you, Albert. I sure have.
Somebody try to keep a secret from me puts me out of sorts, you know, makes me mean as a grizzly bear. You hear that, Chief?
I guess he don't care whether you're an old grizzly bear or not, Albert.
Well, no stinking red Injun's gonna keep a secret from me.
No.
No, huh?
Look out, he's got a knife. Yeah! Well,
What's the trouble, One Horse?
No trouble.
Who the hell do you think you are to go shooting at me, mister?
Well, I know who I am. I'm Ned Blessing. And I'm Sheriff of Plum Creek.
We was just passing through, Sheriff Blessing. We wasn't looking to be no problem.
Oh, you ain't no problem. You know these two sticks?
No, sir, I ain't never seen them before.
well, then we'll just be on our way. Come on.
I believe we got some paper on a couple of fellas that kind of look like them.
But that ain't us, Sheriff. No, we ain't no criminals. I'd swear to that.
Well, I believe you probably would swear to that, but let's take a little walk over to the jail just to make sure that your pictures ain't hanging on the wall. I'll be back in a minute.
All right.
Come on. Right over here.
Thank you.
Let's go, Emma. We got work to do. Emma?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. We got work to do.
Well, here's the one I was talking about, the Smink Brothers.
Smink Brothers. Smink Brothers. Well, it don't look like them, do it?
Well, heck, Sticks, this one looks more like you than either one of them fellas. You ain't been robbing banks on the side now, have you?
No, sir, I certainly have not.
Come on, easy now.
Boys, I think it's them.
Well, you couldn't prove it by this. They sure ain't gonna admit to it.
They might.
All right, come on out of there, Crescencio. Them thieves and murders are the worst kind. Okay. Hurry.
All right. Which one of you is Red Freckle Eric Dawson? Who?
Well, neither one of us is.
No? Well, then, how about Gentleman Bob Ulrich?
We ain't him neither, Sheriff. We ain't neither one of them fellas.
You ain't?
Hell no, we ain't.
No, we the Smink Brothers.
Smink Brothers?
I'm Albert. He's Alfred. Smink. It's who we are. Albert and Alfred Smink.
I don't know that I believe you two.
Well, I guess we know our own names, Sheriff. We ain't stupid.
Well, let us out of here. I told you we wasn't no criminals now, didn't I?
Well, yes, you did. But this poster here proves a lie in that now, don't it?
He tricked you, huh? Yes, I taught him to do many things when he was just a little flea.
Let's see here. It says that you two
were sentenced to hang for offenses committed in Gonzales County. That's before you broke jail.
I think we should hang him ourselves this afternoon, right here in Plum Creek.
Well, ain't you the eager one?
5 murders while robbing a bank. 2 of them women. I think that'd make your own mom and daddy eager to hang you. Dang sure does me.
Settle down, Judge. Settle down. It ain't up to us anyway. Up to that sheriff from Gonzales County winning where they hang. It was their people they murdered.
Sorry, Ned.
Listen, why don't you send him a telegram down there, Judge, and find out what he wants to do with this pair.
All right, Ned.
The judge can get tested, can't he?
Where you going, Mule? Finish breakfast.
Emma, I think the sheriff might want another biscuit or two.
No, thank you, I'm done.
Ned, read this, Ned. It's from the sheriff down in Gonzales County. He says he wants to hang them 2 Smink brothers right here in Plum Creek. All he's asking is that we furnish 2 ropes and a tree.
We'll arrive Plum Creek first thing in the morning. He wants to hang him as soon as he gets here so he can get on back to Gonzales County for supper time.
That suits us just fine, don't it, Ned?
A hanging's a hanging. I guess it don't matter when or where.
Come out of them bushes, whoever you are, or I cut you in half with this gun I got you.
Put that gun away, Ada, before I break it over your head.
It's Emma.
Emma!
Oh, get away from me! Get away! Enough of that! Who's this here? That's Verlin.
That's Verlon?
Emma, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but, you know, I think maybe you could have done better than this Verlin here.
Yeah, Emma, I think so too.
Yeah, you should talk. What about them 2 Smink brothers you married? Didn't I say in my last letter, tell them not to make no fuss when they come to Plum Creek? Ain't that what I said, don't make no fuss?
Yeah, we told them. Emma says don't make no fuss. We told them.
Yeah. Well, they wasn't in Plum Creek even 1 minute, and already they been shot and stabbed. And now they both in jail, too.
In jail?
Yeah, in jail. And what's worse than that? The sheriff from Gonzales County is coming first thing in the morning to hang them.
That would be Sheriff Albright. Him we know.
What if they talk? What if they tell them I'm the one who got them here to kill Ned Blessing?
They won't talk. Albert won't talk.
No, not Alfred neither. He won't talk. No? Not even to keep from hanging, they won't talk?
Well, to keep from hanging, yeah, they might talk.
Yeah, they would talk.
Yeah, they would.
We got to break them out of jail before that sheriff from Gonzales gets here. That's when they would talk.
Don't worry, Emma. We can break them out.
Yeah, don't worry, Emma. We done it lots of times. Albert and Alfred, they always in some jail somewhere. Roby? What are you doing out here?
Shooting bottles?
Yeah? What for are you shooting bottles?
So I'll be ready for him when the time comes.
Be ready for who?
Ned Blessing? Yeah.
Look what he did to your poor papa here.
Well, you can chunk him in a creek for all I care.
Ah. Ist Ren you want, huh? Ned Blessing took her from you. Then he let her take away my saloon from me. I hate him too. Robbie?
Yeah?
I got my own idea how to deal with that Ned Blessing.
You do, huh?
What would you say if I was to say I would let you help me?
Well, I'd say keep talking.
Check his cards. How many cards is there?
You don't think Eda and Etta just let us hang, do you?
Nah, Big Emma might, but they wouldn't.
I'll spill the beans on Big Emma before I'll hang. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you something else, too. We get out of this, I'm gonna put a bullet right between his ears. You watch and see if I don't.
It's a damn red engine I want. I'm gonna cough him up with his whole knife and stuff him with whatever he's got in that sack of his. See how he likes it.
Yeah. What he's got in that sack.
Y'all let that old Mexican beat you. Maybe you would like to try your luck.
My deal now.
I'll tell you what I'd like. I'd like something to eat for my supper. I'm about to dry up and blow away in here without nothing to eat.
Well, I apologize, boys. I didn't think you'd have too much of an appetite right before you're hanging.
Well, he's always hungry. He's got a tapeworm or something.
It wouldn't make much difference now if he had 100 of them, would it?
All right. I'll be right back with your supper.
I'll walk down there with you, Ned. Of course, I may have to borrow $1 or $2 to assuage my thirst.
Here, this ought to hold until the hang.
Did you look at that? She even wipes his chin for him. Well, I guess it pleases her to mother him along.
No, it's more than that. She loves him.
Loves him? Love.
You've never been in love?
Well, I've sparked a girl or two in my time, if that's what you mean.
No, I mean in love. You know where you do just about anything to be with certain somebody else?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah? Who?
Her name is Jilly Blue.
Jilly Blue?
Jilly Blue.
Who's Jilly Blue?
Oh, she was this girl that used to live with me and my father back when I was a spud.
Whatever happened to her?
Hell, I don't know. I don't know. My father, oh, he was he was bad ill back then, and I rode off to find Crescencio for one of his cures. By the time I got back, she's gone. And kidnapped. I haven't seen her since.
You still miss her, though, don't you?
You see this? Old Jilly, she braided this for me from her own hair. The day I rode off to find Crescencio. Shoot, she couldn't have been more than maybe 10 years old back then.
Well, I wouldn't think you'd owe her your whole life for such a simple favor as that. You know, I've seen a lot prettier ones.
It's the thought.
She might even be married with a past with stringy-haired kids by now, for all you know. Might even have lost her teeth or her finger or something. You ever consider that when you're dreaming on her?
don't remember saying that I was dreaming on her.
Oh, you do not?
No.
Howdy.
Do you know anything about Woman One Horse?
I had a woman. But did you ever understand her? Some things stay mysteries. That's what Crescencio said. Shoot, he's had more women you could shake a stick at. He says he still don't understand them. For me, one woman.
Is that a fact?
Wife.
Yeah, I'd like to meet her sometime. No?
No, you'll never meet her.
I'm sorry, One Horse. I didn't mean to bring up an unhappy thought. I was just talking.
I know. Well, what about those two down in the jail?
Sheriff from Gonzales County is coming to hang him first thing in the morning.
Good.
There. That's how it's done. You want to try the other one? Couldn't hurt to learn.
It might keep me up nights, Judge, thinking that I tied the knot that killed somebody.
It's not the knot that will kill them, Sticks. It's the way they live their lives that will do it. If they don't die by that knot, they'll die some other ugly way for what they did.
Well, now that's a curious notion, ain't it?
No. It ain't a notion, Judge. It's the way of the world.
I still don't want to tie no hangman's knot.
All right, then, I'll do it.
Well, Sheriff ought to be along shortly, don't you believe?
Ought to be.
You pick out a tree to hang him from.
I believe that one right down there will do.
I never seen a hanging.
Well, they don't last long. Their eyes kind of bug out and they give a kick or two and it's adios amigos. I did see one fellow though, his head popped right off.
Yes. Wish you hadn't have told me that.
Morning. Are you the sheriff from down in Gonzales County?
I am.
The one coming to Plum Creek to hang them Smink Brothers?
Well, that'd be me, all right. And I'll hang 'em with great pleasure, too.
No. I can't allow you to do that.
You can't allow me to do what?
Hang 'em. Them Smink Brothers? I can't allow it.
Well, why would that be?
Well,
Wouldn't be because somebody's got it in their head to break them out of jail, would it?
Well, I guess I'm the one to be asking the questions around here. You just climb off your horse like I asked you to.
Now, son, you listen to me. I am John Mason Albright, the duly elected sheriff of Gonzales County, and I'm sworn to uphold the laws of the state of Texas. And on this day, it is my official duty to go from said county to Plum Creek, and there to hang by the neck until dead the Smink Brothers for 5 vile murders committed while robbing a bank. Now, I don't know who put you up to this nonsense, but whoever it was, I just bet they didn't tell you that standing out here in the middle of the road with that pistol in your hand, trying to keep me from doing my official duty, was a most serious offense, the penalty for which is hanging. Hanging, boy, you listening to me? Hanging by the neck until dead. They didn't tell you that, did they? They didn't tell you you could be hanged for what you're doing.
No, sir, they didn't tell me that.
I didn't think so.
Well, I guess it'd be all right with me then. If you want to go on to Plum Creek and hang them Smink Brothers.
Better be more careful who you take up with in the future, son. Bad company can wreck your life in a hurry.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm gonna remember that. You killed him. You never said nothing about killing him. You just said slow him down.
Yeah, well, he slowed down good now, ain't he?
I ain't gonna be no part of this.
You're already a part of this, Roby.
No, I ain't. You're the one who killed him.
Yeah. And you're the one who stopped him in the road so I could do it. That's what I will say. If you tell anyone about this.
They wouldn't believe you. Nobody would believe you.
Oh, yeah. They would believe me. You are Valen's son. They would believe anything bad about you. You know they would.
You tricked me. You were planning to kill him all along.
Yeah, I was. Now go hide him somewhere where nobody can ever find him. I got to go.
I'm gonna tell. I swear I am.
Yeah, Roby, you tell. Then we both hang.
Way past first thing in the morning, Ned. The sheriff ought to have been here long before now.
Maybe he's riding a slow horse.
Well, maybe I ought to ride up the road a piece, see if I can't find him.
Here, hold this, Crescencio.
Oh, come on, Etta. Time's a wasting.
Rita,
Yes, Etta?
why ever we married them idiot Smink Brothers in the first place? They never been nothing but trouble, you know that.
I think it was because they was the only ones wanting to marry us, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I remember now. That was it. Yeah, that was it.
Sheriff Albright?
Jailbreak.
Ladies.
Morning.
We heard you was hanging them Smink Brothers today.
You heard right, ma'am. We're gonna hang 'em from that tree right down yonder. Ought to be quite a spectacle.
Yeah, spectacle. Where are they now, them Smink Brothers?
Well, we've got them inside here now. Oh, ladies. Excuse me, ladies. Ladies. Y'all can't just start visiting.
Yeah?
Ladies.
There they are, all right. The Smink Brothers. Albert and Alfred.
Yeah, there they are in jail, waiting to hang. Like we always told them they would.
1,000 times we told them. But they don't never listen to us. We talk and we talk. Over and over. But no, they don't listen. What do we know, huh? We just two women. Don't know one damn thing, huh?
You ladies seem to have more than just a passing interest in these two criminals.
We married to them.
Yeah, these Smink Brothers in this jail here. They're our husbands.
Your husband?
You poor little chiquitas. Married to these two burros.
Yeah, poor little chiquitas. That's us, all right.
Well, as they say, it's an ill wind that don't blow some good to somebody. I guess we'll be doing you ladies a favor by hanging them.
You ain't hanging nobody, Judge. Y'all see how you like it in there now. What?
There's Blessing down there.
I don't see him. I guess he rode off.
Let's go, Zim. How good is it going?
I'm going nowhere till I take care of that sassy red booger down there.
Yeah, we still owe him one or two, don't we?
What? Are you crazy in the head?
Yeah, the whole town's right there waiting to hang you.
We ain't never been afraid of no town now, have we, Alfred?
Never have been, never gonna be.
You Smink Brothers. I don't want to be married to no dead man.
Yeah. Me neither. Here, Alfred.
Well, ain't that a frosty howdy-do first thing in the morning? Maybe I want me a kiss before you go. You ever think of that?
It's the last one, Albert. Goodbye to you.
Didn't you want you no kiss?
I never was much on kissing women anyway. Especially Etta.
Well, there he is.
Remember us, Chief?
Ned, how's your hand?
I'll show you how it is. He ain't so sassy now, is he?
Drop it, and I mean right now.
Blessing! Look out! Get in! Oh! Over there!
Ever get blown away from the window before it gets dark? Yeah, I take him in the kitchen.
He's a shooter. I'll say that for him.
Well, I was gonna have to get over there across the street and sneak up behind him.
I'm happy where I am. Besides, I'd like to see what's in that sack first.
Keep going, Alfred. You don't need to look in no sack.
What came out? Why do you get to look in the sack?
Man, you get on back away from that window before you get shot. You hear me? I say get back from that window like I tell you.
You ain't the boss of me, Ned Blessing.
Having trouble with your woman there, are you, Blessing?
I ain't his woman, you jackass.
I ain't got a woman neither, Blessing. I guess we got that much in common.
You ain't gonna need a woman where you're going, Smink.
Don't go counting your chickens for their hatched. I may have a long road ahead of me yet. Yeah, and you may be one short step away from burning hell, too.
Ned, behind you.
Get over here with that gun.
Drop it, Blessing. On your feet.
Drop it. Do it or say goodbye, one or the other. Get over here. Come on now, hurry.
Drop it down.
Alfie! Where are you? Here. Here I am.
What happened to you? You didn't shoot him, did you, Blessing?
Well, I might have missed once, so I doubt it.
No, you didn't miss.
No, I didn't think I did. Maybe you ought to sit down.
Yeah, that's better. Thank you. Albert, everything's starting to look kind of foggy to me, you know? Like early of a morning on the San Marcos River.
Maybe you should go and shoot Blessing here for shooting you. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
No! Get back!
Now, you get back and you stay back, and by God, you listen to me this time. Do you hear?
You look in that bag yet to see what that engine was hiding from us?
Where the hell would I have time to look in a sack with Blessing here shooting at me?
I sure wish you'd go on and look. I'm curious what it is. I don't think I got but a second left in me.
I swear, Alfred, I never seen somebody get such a fix on a thing. Here, Blessing. You open it. I reckon it's the least you can do after shooting him.
Nope. It ain't my place to give away a man's secret.
I said open it. Sorry, Alfred, he's being contrary on the matter.
I appreciate you trying anyway, Albert. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, best go on and shoot him. That's what we was brought here to do anyhow, remember?
I remember now. We were supposed to kill him, wasn't we?
Now, ain't that a bit of daring do, getting my own dead brother to shoot me?
Now, Smink, you got one last chance to put that gun down and stop all this foolishness while you still can.
One horse. No, one horse. One horse. No, one horse.
Gonna kill him? Yes, I meant to kill him.
Get up.
Get up!
Who paid you to kill me?
Who was it? All right, all right. I guess it don't do me no good to keep a secret now anyway.
You got that right.
It was... Behind the saloon.
Don't shoot!
What are you doing back here, Emma?
Doreen sent me in here with Verlin. I did what she said to.
Yeah, I told her to come in here when the shooting started.
You been back here ever since?
Yeah, you know I wouldn't leave Verlin. What happened out there after all that shooting?
2 men died. Someone hired him to kill me.
Yeah? Who was that?
For a minute there, I thought it might be you, Emma.
Well, I hope you boys had a good rest while I was getting shot at.
We was tricked, mijo. There was 2 women's.
2 women?
Yes, sir. They just married to them Smink Brothers. You can't spite them for wanting to help their husband.
Ain't nothing gonna help them now.
Did you ever find that sheriff from Gonzales County?
No, I didn't. Found some blood. He's dead, most likely.
Bushwhacked?
Would be my guess.
You have any idea who done it?
Well, ideas ain't proof. Judge, you might want to send a telegram down to Gonzales County. I imagine that sheriff had a family.
Yeah.
I'll go with you, Judge.
Me too.
I'm sorry that I yelled at you earlier.
Oh, that's all right.
I was just afraid you were gonna step in between me and that bullet.
Yeah, it was.